Well, it's a pleasure for me to talk about Retention Zen. Sinclair is an open door community college. Welcome all students who come through our doors. But we know that we're not interested just in access. We really want success for these students. So what we have found with the process that we have developed and the software that we have developed is that we're seeing our most at-risk students achieve parity with the rest of the college population. On the whole, those students who participate generally have higher retention rates from quarter to quarter, from year to year, and even 2 and 3 years out. They have higher GPAs, and they also complete their classes more successfully with either A, B, C, or passing grades. So for us, it's been a win-win, not just for the students, but for the college and its objectives as well. From quarter to quarter and from year to year, we're seeing that our students are succeeding and moving forward. And what's exciting for us is that we're seeing our minority students also kind of come up the curve, which we had not seen in the past. So for us, and to see these students do well and to continue forward successfully and feeling pretty confident about where they're going here at Sinclair, that's just been an awesome experience for those of us who participate with Retention Zen. It's been really exciting for those of us who worked in the past with caseload management and paper files, really time-consuming. And what we found with Retention Zen is that collectively we've brought all of the resources that each of us share individually into one particular area in the counseling reference guide. So a new counselor coming in will have just as much information as a counselor who may have been on campus for 10 years. It's very flexible. We can work with any student at any time, review what any counselor has been doing with them, and move forward. And we can work with any kind of student, not just at-risk students, but I see an opportunity to work with athletes. I see an opportunity to work with student leadership. So this is a very, very flexible software that I think many, many areas of the campus can be using. Well, I would say from experience that we have about 1 day of training, and from then on, they're kind of going at it. It really is so user-friendly. Those of us that are older and are a little bit technology shy, we're hesitant at first, but I would never, ever go back to using the paper files that we've done in the past. It has just been an amazing tool that frees us up to actually spend more time with our students, and isn't that the point? We know that the costs of retaining students is much less than us always going out and beating the bushes for new students. So probably within the first year, I would expect that you would certainly gain much more as far as revenues than you would have if you did not have this. So it actually kind of pays for itself quite quickly. We know that student engagement, meeting those students and their needs at the very beginning before they ever walk into the classroom, and this is supported by the literature, it's so huge to student success. And that is what we're doing with Retention Zen and the ILP program. We are talking with students, discussing barriers that they may have, talking about their study skills, their learning styles, all the things that they can use as tools when they walk in that very first day and feel confident that they know what to expect and what they need to do next to be a successful student. So many of our students are really underprepared. A lot of them are first generation. They really do not understand the college process. So absolutely, we do a lot of intense service up front, but the outcome is self-service on their part at the end. And that's what we're looking for, students who can take responsibility for their learning. Well, it's very efficient and effective for us. As I said, we can just enter this information. We don't have to go looking for files. If a counselor is out and I need to be working with that counselor student, I can just go right into the system immediately and look up the past history, to look at the action plans that have been developed. So it's a really, really efficient and effective tool for those of us who not only work with our students, but have walk-ins as well with students who come in with other counselors who might not be there to serve them. Here at Sinclair, and it's not uncommon across other colleges where I have worked, a lot of students get their information through orientation. If they go, it is not required here at Sinclair, so a lot of times students don't necessarily go. So they may meet with an advisor, but they don't know what to do after that except perhaps show up for classes. So by working with them very intensely at the upfront, we're able to show them the steps that they need, whether it's financial aid, whether it's accessing some services like housing or childcare or whatever. So we get all of those barriers or roadblocks kind of out of the way before classes start. And that's been huge because, as I said, our students walk in pretty much prepared with an expectation of this is what I need to do, this is how many hours a week I need to study, and this is my plan if I need additional help. We hear from students themselves. We do surveys. We also talk with them, obviously, one-on-one when we're dealing with them from one session to the next. Very positive feedback that they really like the idea of working one-on-one with a counselor. It's almost like a mentoring program, if I can use that example. The students really do appreciate, because so many of them are new, they are probably first generation, and they don't know what they don't know. And so as they're working with us, students really can say, hey, I really do appreciate the time that you're taking with me. And as I had one student say, you make me feel like I'm somebody, that I can make this happen. And that's really exciting to hear students coming in a little apprehensive and leave with a lot of self-confidence that, this is something I can do. Well, Retention Zen was designed to work with at-risk students here at Sinclair. That was our goal. But I can see this being used with high schools. I can see this used in a variety of ways, again, across our campus. And one of the cool things that we're doing is that we're actually piloting an opportunity for students to access some of this information again, so there can be some self-advising on their part. So it's just a very flexible tool that has so many opportunities for use that I probably can't even name them all if I tried. I would never want to go back to paper files. This has been extraordinarily fun for us to move from anticipation to absolutely exhilaration every day when I get up and I turn on the computer and there's my student files and the files of anybody else that I want, or the records and reporting and tracking that I need as a supervisor. It's just fantastic, and I wouldn't want it any other way.